In this video we'll learn about insertion sort. So these are the numbers that will be sorting, and that's the position. So first we'll take the first element and compare it with the element in the left side, and if it is smaller we will swap it and write the remaining letters as it is. Now we'll take the next element, that is second position, and compare it with the elements in the left side, and it has to go in the first element, so we will replace it and we'll shift the numbers to the right side. 4 1. Now we'll take the next element, that is 4, and we'll have to put it in the first position, so we will write it and we will push the numbers to the right side. Now for the last element it's the same procedure. We'll put it in the first element and we'll push the elements to the right side. So the elements has been sorted using insertion sort. So we'll now see the code for it. So that's the code. So these are the numbers that we'll be working on. Now for the first iteration, the temp value will be num of now since I is equal to 1, num of 1, that is num of 1 is 5. So temp will be 5 and j is I minus 1, that is 0. Now the value of while, the condition inside the while is j should be greater than 0 and num of j, that is 6, should be greater than 5. So the condition is true, so it will go inside the loop. Now num of j plus 1 is 1. Now and num of j is 0, so the value is 6. So we'll have to store 6 in num of 1, so we'll write it there. And next the j value will reduce by 1, j minus 1, so it becomes minus 1. So when it checks the next time, j should be greater than 0, but it is not greater than 0, so it will not go inside the loop and it will go outside the loop. So num of j plus 1 is minus 1 plus 1, that is 0. Num of 0 should be temp, so we'll write it there. So 5 6 has been swapped and we'll write the remaining letters as it is. So that's the first iteration. So for the second iteration, when I is equal to 2, when I is equal to 2, the temp value will be num of I, that is 3, and j is I minus 1, that is 1. So j should be greater than 0, j is 1, that is true, and num of j should be greater than temp. Num of j value is 6. 6 should be greater than 3, and that is true. So it will go inside the loop. So num of j plus 1 is 2 and num of j is 6. So we'll write it there. Num of 2 should be 6, so we'll write it there. And j value will be reduced by minus 1. So j value becomes 0. Now when it goes to the second iteration in the same loop, while loop, the condition satisfies for the first statement, and for the second statement it should be 5 is greater than temp value is 3. So even in the second time the value satisfies, so it will go inside the loop. So num of j plus 1 is num of 1 and num of j is that is 5. So we'll have to store 5 in num of 1, so we'll write 5 there, and j value should be reduced by minus 1. So j becomes minus 1 and it does not satisfy the condition because minus 1 is not greater than 0, so it will go outside the while loop, and num of j plus 1 is 0, and in num of 0 we'll have to store temp value, that is 3. So we'll store 3 in num of 0 and the first 3 values has been placed correctly. So in the next iteration 4 will be stored in its correct position, and in the next iteration when I is equal to n, the values will be sorted. So that's insertion sort. Hope you have understood.